tithing would bring about blessings.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
Tithing is the best method for your life. After you accept Christ, it's not left up to you whether you want to do it or not.
That's right.
That's right, Pastor.
God said that we ought to tithe.
That's right. It's in the book.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And Malachi 3, and they ask us a question: will a man
Yes, they will.
rob God?
Yes, they will.
People are robbing themselves as well as God. Anybody who does not tithe can't really be happy.
I know you're right.
And we can go through the motion.
That's right. That's right. But
Is
some
that right?
inside. That's right, Shepherd.
I read an article in preparation for our marriage retreat, and it says that the preacher was having a marriage, going to a marriage ceremony, and he asked the group, how many of you have read Ephesians 5?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it says in there, submit and obey.
That's right.
And some of the people sniggered, laughed when he got to that portion. And the girl said, I do. And after the wedding, they asked her, did you really mean that? She said, yes. And then some asked him, is that in the Bible? Now, one of the reasons that many people have a problem in obeying and being submissive, they've not read the Bible.
That's right. Pastor.
And the reason many people does not tithe to the church, they'd rather stand out on the corner in hot weather and sell chicken dinners,
Trust God.
barbecue dinners,
Yeah.
is because they have not really read the book
Read the word.
and accepted for what it was.
Well, that's right. Don't trust God enough.
Is that right?
That's right.
And when we finish selling chicken and ribs, we still come up short.
That's right. That's right.
Is that right?
That's right.
Tithing is God's way.
Yes.
He said, bring it into the storehouse. God said, bring it into the storehouse. See, sometimes we pass the tree, but we ain't doing nothing but making people lazy.
All right.
That's it, Pastor.
If you got legs when the offering time comes, you ought to get up and bring it.
Thank you.
Is that right?
Right. That's why you gotta climb over people. You
I
right.
shared with you not long ago that when I went to Eastern Star, they had retired some people from tithing
My Lord.
because they was old.
Wow.
Well, I said the other day that tithing, you ain't gonna get too much tithing out of young folks. That money is going on the hair,
Yeah.
that fingernails, cell phone. Is that right?
You ain't gonna get out of some more ones either.
See.
Sneakers.
And when a church lose or an older person dies,
That's right, Shepherd.
we lose so much.
That's right. That's right.
We lose commitment because that person didn't commit.
That's right.
We lose that person pays tithe.
Patient. That's right, Shepherd.
Is that right?
That's right.
And even if that person is sick, they make sure that their tithes and offering
That's right. That's right, shepherd.
is brought or sent or picked up
That's right. And they make sure they monthly.
and brought to the church.
That's right. It's in their heart.
We ought to support what we believe in.
That's right. That's it, Pastor. Not the church, shepherd.
The Buffalo Bills
Oh, pastor.
are going to play this evening or tomorrow.
Tomorrow, shepherd. Tomorrow.
They're going to, what, London or somewhere? in a
Next
few-
year.
Next
Yes,
year.
sir. Yes, sir.
They've already making preparation.
Yes. Great support. They get great support.
That's right. But the church,
The church, pastor.
Check the record.
some people, even though December the 25th, Christmas Day, Sunday, we're not able to come to church. Some people still have not paid no time.
I hear you, shepherd. I hear you. I hear you.
But look what God still does. He still allows us to breathe His air.
Now he does. Yes, he does, Pastor.
Is that right?
That's right.
Yes, sir.
And here we are, Rob and I say,
That's right. Right. That's just what we doing ourselves.
is that right?
That's right.
Bring it into the storehouse. God gives us a designated place.
Designated place.
See, you ought to pay your tithes while you're being fed.
That's right.
See, thank God for Reverend T.D. Jake and others, but you go to the hospital, T.D. Jake ain't coming to see you.
Not at all. That's all. Can't call
Yeah. And where you're being fed,
him. That's what you should.
that's where you ought to pay your tithes.
That's right.
See, bring it into the storehouse. And then he said that there may be meat in mine house.
That's right.
The church look awful bad when it has to stand outside and sell chicken dinner to pay the light bill.
That's right. That's right. I know you're right.
Sometimes those people stand up all day. You go buy the chicken, you go buy the rib, and then you turn around, you come right back and buy your ribs and your chicken over again.
Stuff that name.
If you want some money, just teach people to tithe.
Right.
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
Right.
Amen.
Is that right?
That's right, shepherd.
David says that I've been young, but now I'm old. I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging for bread. God has a way
Got a
Yes, he
witness,
does,
sir.
Pastor.
of making up the short.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes,
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 sir.
Pastor.
Yes, sir.
Right on board, the tithing belongs to God. See, will a man rob God? Wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and in offering.
Yes, sir, Pastor.
Hey, read for me. I believe it's Mark 12. And begin with verse 41. And right on the board that the widow woman, the poor woman,
Lord Jesus.
gave more money than some of the rich folks.
Right. Ones that work every day. That's right.
Are you with me?
Amen.
Watch what it says. Begin with verse 41.
And Jesus sat over against the treasury and beheld how the people cast money into the treasury.
That's why the pastor talk about turn it over into the hands of the deacon, turn it over into the hands of the usher. It ain't never out of the pastor's hand.
Never.
Never.
Pastor need to be standing there watching what they do when they come around. Because some people will stick their hand, they stick their hand way down in the bucket.
Yeah, they drown out the corners. You can see the ones got dollars. They walk with
Yeah.
it all.
If you want to show off, that's a time that you're witnessing the people that I trust God,
Right.
that I believe God, I obey Him.
Yeah.
And so since the order has been given,
That's right, shepherd.
I'm going to walk my tithe down gladly.
That's right.
It's not, listen, don't don't focus on how much a person gives.
Right, that's right, that's right. That's not important.
Now the book said, from him that have much is required. You ain't got no business driving a Cadillac and then putting in $5.
All right.
Right, Pastor.
Is that right? And
Right, no.
what else it say?
And many that were rich cast in much. And there came a certain poor widow, and she threw in 2 mites, which make a farthing. And he called unto him his disciples, and
No,
said unto
notice the problem is usually with those of us in the church.
Yeah, they read this stuff and they don't believe it.
Jesus called unto him who? His disciples. See, if you're going to teach something, if you're going to witness to somebody, you ought to know what you're witnessing about.
That's right, Pastor. That's right.
He called unto him his disciples. All right?
and saith unto them, Verily I say unto you, that this poor widow has cast more in than all that which have cast into the treasury. For all they did cast in their abundance, but she did of her want, did cast in all that she had, even all her living.
All of her living. How much is too much to give to God?
That's right, Pastor.
We owe him everything.
You owe him everything.
Yes, sir.
Is that right? The bed you and I slept in last night
Oh, wait.
Right, the rest we got.
belonged to God.
Yeah.
Right.
The car that you and I drive belongs to God.
Yeah.
The money that you and I have belongs to him.
Already
right.
yes.
And it's a shame before God for him to bless us and we don't want to obey him.
That's right. That's right.
Is that right?
That's right, Shepherd. That's right.
You ought to be glad the opportunity to pay your tithe.
That's right. That's right.
Read that bit. Read 43 and 44 again.
And he called unto him his disciples, and saith unto them, Verily I say unto you, that this poor widow hath cast more in.
Jesus said this is a poor widow.
That's right.
Her husband is dead. Poor widow. But this woman put in more than all the rest of the people.
That's right.
She gave her all.
Oh,
All to him I owe.
That's right. She had nothing.
I surrender my all to Christ.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
That's right.
And when you surrender all that you have, God will give you more than what
I'm a
you need.
witness, you will, Pastor. I'm a witness.
God is just good
I'm
anyhow.
a witness, Pastor. Pastor.
Yeah.
I never really experienced because by my money being so short, I know where it's at always, and I know how much I got. So I've always heard people say I went in my coat pocket and found $20 or something like this, you know. But I didn't think that could happen to me because my money's so short. So I know I got $20 tucked in my wallet, you know. But was it last week? I was broke, no cigarettes. I think I had. I packed it up, and I didn't want to hear Michael's mouth. And I kept saying, Lord, what am I going to do? And I checked my credit card, and I couldn't use that. I put on a coat that I ain't had on in over a year, and it was $60 in it.
That was my.
And I never thought that could happen to me.
That was my city.
I don't know how long it's been in there, but I was so happy and so proud. I told my husband, I called Beatty, I called Del, because I never thought that would happen to me.
Yeah.
And I said, it's really true, that can happen.
Yeah. You got to trust God.
You gotta trust him.
God knows what you need and he give it to you at the right time.
Now, he
He does. He really does.
Oh,
And
yeah.
listen, I got to be out of my mind
Right.
to hold back on the man
I know you right. I know you right. Everything.
that owns everything.
I know you right.
Everything. Shepherd.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to testify to the power and intelligence of the Holy Spirit. Just last night, my daughter called me, and she said, Mom, I want to be a true tiger.
True time.
Teach me how to be a true tiger.
That's
And you
all
come out
right.
here and you teach us today.
That's all
That's
right.
the Holy
That's
Spirit.
right.
I thank God for that.
That's right.
a true tithe.
Gotta be the hurt, that's all right.
10%.
Right.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Somebody gotta show it, teach me.
Everything.
Teach me.
10%.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Let's read that. Read on.
And he called unto them his disciples, and said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that this poor widow hath cast more in than all which have cast into the treasury. For all they did cast in of their abundance, but she of her want did cast in all that she had, even all her living.
All of her living. Right on the board, sister. The tithing should remind us of God's desires that we be generous in our giving. Thank you, Doctor. Those of you that used to go to the bar, they get their paycheck on Friday. And they have a good time on Friday.
Oh, I thought it was a good time, Pastor.
Yeah.
It was
Saturday.
then.
If you were such a dancer in the world, you'll be a dancer in the church.
Now I know you're right, Pastor. Amen.
If you were loud in the world,
Amen, Pastor. And stop always telling people, shh.
you ought to be loud in the church.
Amen.
Is that right?
That's right.
You ought to have a good time.
I know you're right.
I know you're right.
Yeah.
I know you.
What a good time we gonna have.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Look forward to it. Yes, sir.
God is so good.
Yes, he is,
In
Pastor.
spite of my negligence,
He's still good. Oh, yes.
he's still good.
Yes, he is. Yes, yes, yes.
I know you're right.
Erase that and write this on the board. Tithing. In other words, why should I tithe? Why?
The Lord says so.
Number one, because God commands it.
Amen.
Not John Williams. Somebody read from me Leviticus 27 and 30. Because God
God.
commands it. He didn't ask if you want to do it. He commands it.
He told us to.
When you go to Uncle Sam's army, you obey his rules.
Yes.
That's right.
All right, what it said though?
And all the tithe of the land.
And all the tithes of the land. All right?
Whether of the seed of the land or the fruit of the tree, is the Lord's.
A, the tithe is the Lord. All right?
It is holy unto the Lord.
B, the tithe is holy
That's right.
unto the Lord. See, you don't go to the gas company and say, I can't pay all my gas bill. I had to pay light bill.
No.
Gas company is looking for
Right. Same thing you gave the light.
their money.
Gave money.
God is expecting us
That's right, shepherd.
to give him what we owe him.
That's right.
Let the gas company come up short. Don't cut God short.
I know you're right, 'cause he said,
If you take God's money and pay your light bill, you ain't got nobody to trust.
right, Pat.
But when you pay your tithe, you can trust God and say, Lord, I've done what you told me to do.
That's right.
And God is a keeper of his word.
Of his word.
Read that again, daughter.
And all the tithe of the land, whether of the seed of the land or of the fruit of the tree, is the Lord's. It is holy unto the Lord. And if a man will at all redeem aught of his tithe, he shall add up thereto the fifth part.
What happened when you don't pay your car note on time?
Late charges.
Some late charge. What happened when you don't pay your water bill, your light bill on time, there's some interest that you have to pay.
Yes, sir. Then shut off.
Yeah.
Yeah, they come and shut it off.
And when you know what's right and don't do what's right, you can't sleep peacefully.
Pastor, should eat you up.
You start, you say, I wish Pastor would move on. I can't move on because you ain't doing what I've been teaching. If you start doing what I've been teaching, then I can move on to the next thing.
Right, shepherd.
Is that right?
That's right. Help us.
You can't trade your car in until you have paid the car off, or either you have made some arrangement.
That's right. Now you right about it.
And God will not bless you like He wants to when we rob our Father.
That's right, Pastor. That's right.
Thank you, daughter. The next thing, number 2. We tithe because Jesus commands it. God commanded, Jesus commanded. I had a lady 15, 20 years ago said tithing is not in the New Testament. And there were some smart women that wanted not to pay tithe. I mean, she was dressed to kill. And an ankle brace around her leg. That right there will tell you something.
That's right.
If you read the book, you'll find
Right,
out
Pastor. Right.
what an ankle brace
That's
represents.
right, Pastor. That's right. Right. That's right.
I read Matthew 23:23. See, folks that don't want to do what's right, they'll tie you up, arguing, trying to prove their point. Well, I'm not trying to prove my point. I'm just telling you what thus says the Lord. Now you got a choice. You can either accept it or reject it. Don't ever get into the argument with a fool.
Because you ain't gonna win. You're not gonna win.
Matthew 23:23.
Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees.
Woe, and it's the scribes and the Pharisees
Learned.
were self-righteous people.
Yeah,
Come
they
to
do
church
it.
every
Right.
Sunday.
Oh.
Read God's word.
Yeah,
That's right.
they were self-righteous.
Riches, that's right.
People will tell you, you don't have to pay no tithe. They tell you, right?
Yes, sir.
You don't.
You don't have to pay no tithe.
You don't trust me.
But you're going to pay a great price.
Yeah.
That's
You
right.
ain't got to pay no taxes.
Yeah.
Pay no taxes.
Right.
That's right. You don't have to pay your taxes if you owe the same some money come April or May.
Oh, but you gonna pay a price. You gonna pay a great price. Don't cost you more in the law.
I was asking around, and I said, asking some people, did you get your Social Security check? I got my check, but it was cut.
Oh, Pastor.
And
I hear you, shepherd.
and they sent me a check for $12.
Oh, my.
It's a long way from what the other check is.
Yeah, yeah.
I left it on my desk at the lead, and you don't bring it in the office to get that $12 check. But I got. When I get there next week, I'm gonna call them. What happened?
I know you're right.
I want my money. I done work for this money.
I know you're right. I know you're right. And they ain't giving me all of it.
Yeah.
I know you're right.
And so-
Be on there now and call them.
What verse it says? Read the 23rd verse again.
Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith.
See, you do things to be seen of other folk
Right.
Lord,
Up there, read that stuff and-
with the wrong motive. Now listen, tithing demonstrates I believe God.
I trust.
That is when you get up and come and bring your tithe. Tithe and demonstrate I believe God.
That's right, Pastor.
The other thing, tithing says I trust God. And then tithing says I obey God. But you don't pay your tithe for somebody else to speak well of you. You're doing it because God said it.
That's right. I want to be blessed.
So he says you pay, you do everything, but you left off the weighty matter. You did it, but you didn't have no love. Read the latter part again.
Shepherd, can I read out of NIV?
Okay.
What sorrow awaits you, teachers of religious law, and you Pharisees, hypocrites! For you are careful to tithe even your tiniest income from your herb gardens, but you ignore the more important aspects of the law: justice, mercy, and faith. You should tithe, yes, but do not neglect the more important things.
Do not neglect
That's right.
the important thing.
Yeah.
All right?
Blind guides, you strain your water so you won't accidentally swallow a gnat, but you swallow a camel.
You swallow a camel. Go to Galatians chapter 3. And he says, oh, Galatians.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Read that.
Oh, foolish Galatians.
Oh, foolish Galatians. Who is it that has messed up your mind that you shouldn't pay no tithe?
It's in the book.
Right.
Who is it that told you you're driving a brand new car and you don't want to pay no note? You won't drive it too long.
That's right. Repo.
See. I don't care how good your car runs and how good it looks. You can't keep on bypassing a gas station.
That's right. Not at all. Nice looking car on the side.
Yeah.
Car down.
Yeah. And that's what happened. We got to let folks know I trust God.
I trust him, Pastor. Oh, yes, I trust him.
It ain't hard. It ain't hard to do.
No, it's not that.
We make it hard because we really don't want to do it.
That's right. That's why we wrestle with it.
And you can't show me a person that got more money that's not tithing, that's the one that's tithing.
Right. Now I'm a witness, Pastor.
He's happy. The person that tithing may not have everything, but they happy.
I know you're right. I know you're right. I know you're right.
When I look at the tithing list,
Pastor.
that's one to read it. A lot of people want to do a lot of talking in church. Well, I want to know what to put in.
Right.
And then listen, it's not how much you put in, but you may not be able to put in much money, but you ought to be faithful.
That's right.
You ought to be supportive across the board.
That's right, Pastor, because he said tithes and offerings.
Brother Newman can't live in this house and just pay light bill. You got to pay gas bill too. Water bill. Is that right?
That's right, Shepherd.
You got to do more than just pay, in other words, pay Sunday school money.
Right, Pastor.
Anybody on the outside selling nothing to operate the church? The church is supported by the believers of Christ through tithes and offerings. Read it again, though.
O foolish Galatians, who hath bewitched you that you should not obey the truth, before whose eyes Jesus Christ has been evidently set forth, crucified among you? This
Yeah.
only
Thank you, man. See, tithing is God's method.
That's right.
The third reason why you ought to pay tithe. Because tithing shows that God has first place in your life. In other words, God come before mother and father, husband and wife.
My Lord.
Is that right?
Amen.
He wants to be first. And he told us in Deuteronomy, thou shalt have no other God before me.
That's right.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's right.
Number 4.
Where you put 'em at.
Tithing. It reminds you that everything you have was given to you by God. Deuteronomy 8 and 18 says, it is he that giveth us power
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
to get wealth. It's God that does it.
That's who it is.
Is he asking too much for 10%? He said, you since you're my son, you keep a daughter, you keep 90%. Just give me 10%. That's more than fair.
That's
I know you're right.
Because Uncle Sam don't even trust us. He
That's
was
right.
about the time.
He take his.
Give me 10%.
Right.
It says here, rather than feeling I'm giving God 10% of my money, realize God is letting you keep 90%
That's right. That's right.
of his money.
That's right.
His money.
That's his money.
Right.
Without God's help,
Oh,
I
Pastor,
know you're
Pastor,
right,
Pastor.
Pastor.
you would have nothing.
Nothing,
I
Pastor.
know, right.
I'm nothing without him.
I know you're right,
Pastor.
Shepherd.
Is that right?
That is so true. I know you're right.
Be happy to give. Be happy to pay your tithe.
That's
I
right.
know you're
Amen.
right.
You raise the top. Number 5. Tithing expresses our gratitude to God. For helping us to earn what we have. Psalm 116 and verse 12 says, each of you should bring a gift in proportion
Yeah.
to the way the Lord your God has blessed you.
That's right.
Yeah. I say all the time, not bragging, not boasting. But if I'm a dollar given to church, I'm going to end up with a church full of dollar members.
That's right, Pastor. That's right. That's right.
If anybody ought to be setting an example for the membership, it ought to be us as pastors.
That's right, Pastor. Leaders, the teachers. That's right.
Yeah. How you going to teach a Sunday school class? And you say, I'm going to start off with $1. When you get through with that class, you ain't got but $10.
That's all.
That's
That's
all
all.
right, Pastor. That's right, because it inspire you to give.
See. Number 6. Because refusing to tithe is stealing from God. And you can read it when you get home. Malachi 3, 8 through 19. God has a right to whatever he asks for from you. God has a right. God wants us to be committed.
Yes, sir.
Is that right? I want to do what God said do, because when I do what God said do,
Oh, I know
he going to pour out blessings.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes, sir.
Deuteronomy 28 says, he'll cause blessings to overtake you.
I'm a witness, Pastor. I'm a
I know
witness.
you're right.
That's what they were saying this morning, is that you didn't have no money, but you put your hand in your pocket and you find some money.
Never
Yes,
thought
sir.
of that.
God's children will always be blessed.
Yes, sir.
And I've discovered, even doing this, I knew it before, but even doing this snowy weather,
Yeah.
God take a tragedy situation
Oh, turn it around.
and bring out something
That's
beautiful.
right, Pastor, that's right.
Romans 8:28 says, we know that all things work together for good
Good.
to them that love God and according to his purpose.
Yeah, his
I love
purpose.
this.
Satan could not attack Job unless God gave him permission.
That's right, that's right.
And we ought not question God and say, why me? Sometimes God picked you out to be picked on.
That's right.
The other thing, Tracy. Because it is essential to spiritual growth. One of some people got houses in neighborhoods. They live way out. And they don't care how people keep their yards, keep their house, they rent a property. But where you live and what you own, you want to keep looking nice.
Right. Whether you rent or not, I know you're right, Shepherd.
Is that right? Lady said, Pastor, I need a light bulb. It ain't the church y'all put a light bulb in your.
Right.
You got some grandchildren. Call them their grandchildren.
Right, you're right.
Right.
Is that right?
I know you're right, Shepherd.
And the person who's slipping in the back door, you go call him and say, hey, come over here.
I hear you right,
I hear you,
Pastor.
I don't know why folks think the pastor is foolish.
Right, I know you're right.
I hear you, Pastor, I hear you.
I know you're right, Shepherd.
We have to provide light bulbs and everything for our residents.
Do what?
We have to provide light bulbs for them,
For your company.
yeah. And guy sitting up in the house watching a 70-inch TV screen and called up and said the light bulb over his hood's ready for someone else.
A 70-inch television.
When the man called, he had to go. He said, dude, you couldn't get up there and just change that light bulb?
And they want you to buy a light. They want you to put in a light.
Man sitting in a recliner, I know you're right.
One of our property managers, she stopped that. She said, we're not changing bulbs for you
Not
guys.
doing that.
Buy your own bulb.
Somewhere down the line, we have crippled
Right,
That's it, Pastor.
our own people.
That's it, Pastor, crippled.
That's right.
Most of us are beyond 50 years of age. We work for what we got.
Amen, Pastor, amen.
That's right.
Children now walk around with their hands out
Yes, sir.
and chest too.
Yeah, proud, Pastor.
Right, both of them can't be out at the same
Yeah.
time.
The other thing, because tithing shows you really love God. Tithing shows you really love God. And I'm closing. Matthew 6:21. Read that. Tithing. Matthew 6:21. Now for the next 2 or 3 meetings, we're gonna be dealing with tithing. I just might just teach tithing Sunday rather than preaching.
All right, Pastor.
And don't be sitting up in that choir either.
That's
You know
right,
the truth, say amen.
That's right. Hey, if you ain't doing it.
What it said?
For where your treasure is,
For where your treasure is, whatever you treasure.
That's right, Pastor.
All right?
there will your heart be also.
There will your heart be also.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's right.
That's why you spend your money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What you like?
that's
What you
right.
like?
What you like, that's right.
The football, what color they jersey? Blue.
Yes, sir.
I mean, they dress, got on blue.
They do,
Yeah.
Pastor, baby, the dogs even got an outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Put on your,
Put it on. Cheer.
and, yeah. So that everybody else will know who you
Right, Pastor.
rooted for.
That's right.
That's right. But make sure you represent the church.
And even if the snow falls tomorrow,
They'll still be there.
they'll still be
Yes,
there.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Faithful.
Cold weather
Don't stop.
They don't stop.
You don't need to stop a minute.
Show out of place, they still
That's right, that's right.
be there. Who been called?
They'll be there.
They'll be there.
Hold it.
But call one time and you call the church, Pastor, I can't come to church.
Pastor.
That's right, shepherd.
Stop making excuses,
Right,
but not doing what you ought to do.
that's right.
The book says to know to do good and don't, it's a what? It's a sin.
Yeah, that's it.
And we got to learn to put our all
Oh, yes,
on the altar.
that's right.
But as it says, sister,
The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, the whole body shall be full of light. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness.
evil.
Evil eyes.
Yeah, evil eye. The last one, Tracy. Think it over. Because tithing is an investment for eternity. It's better on the other side. We got to learn to give God what belongs to Him. Now, some people say, well, I don't know how to tithe.
Oh, we know.
Is it ready, Mike?
Yeah.
Some people say, I don't know how to tithe. You know.
Doing it first.
So what, brother?
You know how to go to the supermarket and J.C. Penney's and do all that stuff in sales. You know how to tie.
Yeah. 33%. 20%.
You know how to tie.
$20.
Oh, Pastor.
You got your calculator. 10%. Right on the board. 10% of 100. Somebody, you raise that.
The top.
Yeah. Ten percent of 100. 10% of 100. Is that much? $10. That's all the Lord asking you for.
Right.
And you got 90%. 10% of 200. $20. In other words, you always come out on top.
That's right.
10% of 2,000. 200. And you got $1,800 left. Look how good God is.
Fair God. Fair God.
10% of 3,000. You owe him 300. And you got 27 left. Who wouldn't want to do right by God? If you do right by God,
Oh, blessings, Pastor.
He knows how to take out a little bit
Oh, yes, now he does.
and make it become more than enough.
Now he does that. Oh, yes, he does.
But then on the other hand, He knows how to take out big bit
That's
Yeah.
right. Make it
It
double.
cannot be enough.
and He blows it upon you.
That's right.
That's right. That's what he said. Hold
Do what's right.
pampers with holes in it.
And God will bless you. Thank you for being here today, and we pray and hope that something has been said
Oh, I've been
or
blessed,
done
Pastor.
to
Thank you.
encourage your heart. And if you have tuned in to us and in the city of Buffalo, come by and be with us at 318 High Street, Buffalo, New York, and 770 Humboldt Parkway at the Memorial Baptist Church and Louisiana Baptist Church. And then if you're in Toledo, 2102 Mulberry Street, there in Toledo,